Okay, so in this video, we're going to actually do our first packet analysis using Wireshark, and I've already installed Wireshark to my Windows 7 machine. So I'm going to go ahead and launch Windows 7 right now by double-clicking on it. Now, while this is launching, let's just talk about what Wireshark is. So Wireshark allows us to do packet analysis. Remember that all information that's sent across the internet is sent in these packets, and these packets contain headers and the information that needs that is necessary, contains a bunch of different information. Wireshark is a program that lets us look at the individual packets. So, before we use Wireshark right now, we need to install a web browser that is going to. I know that Internet Explorer is already installed, but if we used Internet Explorer for this particular lab, we would have a lot of additional packets that Microsoft tries to send through Internet Explorer on top of what you're surfing with the web. So we're not going to use Internet Explorer. We're going to go to Windows Tools, and there's a Firefox installer in here. So find the Firefox installer, double click on that, and hit Run, and then hit Yes. And it looks like I've already installed it. That's okay. You just probably want to hit reinstall or install. I actually did install Firefox previously. I'm redoing this lab for the second time. Perfect. We're going to use Firefox as the default browser. So that's good. And then the web page that I want you to go to is right here. It's if we go to 1112.net/last page. This is the last page of the internet. Actually, I'm going to go choose what I share. Uncheck that. I don't want Firefox to allow anything. Close out of that. Close out of that. Okay, so last page of the internet. So why are we using this page? Well, if I right click and I go to view the page source is literally 13 lines of HTML code. So it's really short, really brief. We're not going to get a ton of packets being sent right here. Okay, so this is actually going to work. I'm actually going to full screen my virtual machine. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to view, and then I'm going to go to full screen mode, and then don't show this message again, and switch. And what I just did was now my virtual machine is actually taking up my entire screen. That's going to be helpful. In order to break out of this, if I it's just really nice to be able to have my virtual machine take up the entire screen. In order to break out of this, though, you have to hit Control C on your keyboard, and it's the right control, not the left control. If I hit, and then I hit switch right there. If I hit the right control and C, nothing happens. But if I hit, or I'm sorry, if I hit the left control key and C, nothing happens. If I hit the right control key and C, it just switches between all of these. So I just want to hit switch, and then I'm going to go do this whole thing in full screen. It's going to be a little bit easier. So I have this last page of the internet opened up right there, and I'm just going to kind of move this over to the side, but I'm going to keep this opened. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up Wireshark. Okay. And if I want to make sure that I'm selecting my local area connection, this is my Ethernet cable that I'm plugged into. If you were doing this from a laptop or something that's connected via Wi-Fi, you'd probably see a Wi-Fi connection right there. I don't, so I just click on that, and then right now if I just click on Start Capture, we're going to get a bunch of packets kind of coming in here, especially if I opened up like Internet Explorer or something. We're going to get kind of a lot of packets in here, which I really, no, I don't want, no, I don't want Internet Explorer to be my default. This is kind of overwhelming, so I'm going to hit stop. Okay, we want to kind of close out of this and quit without saving. We don't want to do that. We need to be able to filter those packets. So I'm going to type in HTTP right there, and that is just going to show me any of the HTTP packets that are coming in, or the web packets. So this is packets that are coming over HTTP is port 80. So there are different ports that your computer that are on the internet that allow packets to travel through them. Port 80 is the one that allows HTTP traffic to travel through it, which is what this web page is. So I'm going to go ahead and type in HTTP right there, and then click on my local area connection, and then I'm going to hit start. And looks like we get a few things going on right here, but it looks like not too much. And then if I hit the refresh button right there, I get this green section right there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit stop. So this green section right here is actually what I'm gonna be looking for. Okay, so this was when I was, this green section right in here, this is when I was requesting this very last page of the internet. Okay, so let me kind of take a look at this. So this, and I can see right here, this get last page.http or .html. This is my GET request. So this is when I'm requesting it. And the source is this 10.0.2.15. This is my computer's IP address right there. And the destination, this 172.245.130.175, that is the IP address of that web page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this GET request right here where I have the last page of the internet. I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to go down here to follow the TCP/IP stream of this. Okay, so this right here just shows me the stream of when I was like what this whole thing was. And you notice back this kind of switches, it gets rid of a lot of the other packets that were kind of traveling around, and now I'm just seeing like the very basic thing. So notice we have, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at time right here, sort this by time. I just kind of want to walk through the steps and kind of what's going on right here. So the first thing that was sent was a packet from my computer to the last page on the internet right there. And this was called a SYN packet. Okay, so now down here, if I want to look, I can actually see what specifically was transferred, and I can look at like this wasn't very much, but right down here, this is actually this is the hex that was sent. Not much. What a SYN request is basically a, hey, do you exist? Okay, so my computer is going out onto the internet and basically asking this web page, hey, do you exist? I get back this SYN/ACK request. This is an acknowledgement packet. Okay, so in this particular packet, this web page replies back to my computer and basically says, yes, I exist. I'm good to go. I'm ready here. I'm on the internet. I'm ready for you to download stuff. So then I reply back and I'm like, awesome. I reply back with this acknowledgement from my computer to the source, and I say, okay, you exist. That's awesome. So I'm like, hey, do you exist? The computer replies back, yep, I exist. And it also says, let's just double check that we can make this connection work. And I reply back and I say, yep, this connection, it looks like it's going to be good. So that's what's happening in these first three packets right here. In the next packet right here is actually my GET request. So I'm requesting from my computer to the destination. Remember this address, 172.245.130.175. By the way, if I type in that 172.245.130.175 slash last page.html, it's going to give me the same thing. So this right here, this IP address number is the same as this right there. Okay. Anyway, why do we have words instead of numbers? Because words are a lot easier for people to remember, but everything's actually using IP addresses. So right here, I'm requesting, this is my first formal request for this web page right here. Okay, so then what the computer does is it says, okay, I acknowledge that you want this web page right there. This is an acknowledgement. And then right here in this packet, it's actually sending me the web page. So if I take a look, if I double click on this packet right there, we can you can double click on this and we can get all kinds of information about this particular packet. Line-based text. If I look at the line-based text right there, I actually see right there HTML, head, title. I see the HTML. Now if I right click on this and I view the page source, look at this page source right there, and then take a look at this right there. It's the same thing. Now turn off your computer, go outside. Now turn off your computer, go outside. So if we take a look, this packet right here, this is the actual HTML file that's being sent to me. And notice the length of it is pretty long too. It's like the biggest file in this whole thing. So I reply back. So this is me replying back and say, hey, I got it. Okay. And this is me. I got it. Was that everything? And then this is the source. This is the web page doing this acknowledgement, fin ack. So the fin basically means, yeah, I'm done sending everything. Do you acknowledge? Because I've sent everything that I got. And I go, yep, I see, I accept that. And yep, I'm done sending everything too that I have. And then this thing basically says, okay, we're done. So let's kind of break this down. First part of this, first 3 lines, this is called a handshake request. My computer, 10.0.2.15, is basically going out onto the internet and saying, hey, do you acknowledge or do you exist web page? And the web page says, yep, I exist. And can I connect to you? And my computer acknowledges that too. And it says, yep, you can connect to me. Then I say, okay, awesome, we can connect to each other. Now I want this web page called lastpage.html. And the server replies back and says, okay, I see you want this one web page, the lastpage.html. I'm going to go ahead and send it to you. And then right here, it sends it to me. Okay, and then it says, and then I go, okay, I acknowledge that I've got it. I acknowledge that I got this big packet, and the web page says, yep, okay, I acknowledge, I'm done sending everything. And I'm like, okay, I acknowledge that you say you're done in sending everything. I also say this fin means finished. I'm also done sending stuff. And the server goes, okay, I acknowledge that you're done sending stuff too. So each one of these is a packet. Now, in all of these packets, there's really only one packet that has a lot of code in it, and that's this one right here. This one has like all the HTML in here. The first part is just a handshake at the beginning, establishing the connection, and the bottom part down here is it just saying, okay, are we both done talking to one another? Yep, we're both done talking to one another. Okay, this connection was good. And and if we wanted to do a packet analysis on this, the one packet that contains like a lot of information, I can double click on that packet and we can click on the line-based text right there, and we can actually see the 13 lines right there, the 13 lines of HTML that was transferred, and this is the 13 lines that was transferred. So that is how to use Wireshark and do a very basic packet analysis of a very simple web page. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, in order to break out of this, I'm going to hit Control C and